Hey everyone, I'm in my garden. It's January of 2023 and it's very cold here in Palm Springs. It's like 60 degrees, but I wanted to show you something cool. It's in my backyard, which is right behind me. This is a piece of iron fencing, or what would you call it? Wrought iron fencing, I guess, from Jane Mansfield's house on Sunset Boulevard, the famous Pink Palace. If you look closely, you can see the J and the M and the heart. So it actually came from her home and it's part of our garden here. But we're not here to talk about her. We're here to talk about something else. We're talking about a show called Bewitched and one of the stars of Bewitched. Now, we collect weird things, or I collect weird things, and I gave this gift, this game, as a gift to Troy several years ago because we both like the TV show Bewitched. And like most board games from the 60s, the artwork's really good, but the game itself really sucks. It's called Stymie, and it's all about being mean to each other, and I hate games like that. I don't like playing games like that. But here's the game board, and it's a pretty cool looking game, but I have no interest in playing it whatsoever. But I wanted to show you something else that I have from Bewitched. So over the years, I have also collected autographs. I've written fan letters to people. People have gotten autographs of people for me, gone to autograph shows, and I'm going to show you my Bewitched autograph. So the first thing I have is one of Elizabeth Montgomery, Samantha. I wrote her and got a couple of nice signatures from her, including this one. Now, my friend Steve Cox, who's written several books on 60s television, the Munsters and the Addams Family, he actually got me Dick York's autograph a couple of times, actually. Here's this one that Dick took it upon himself to sign, "Thanks for the plot," which is kind of funny. And on the back of an envelope, he wrote this: "Love, Lizzie." Now, Lizzie was the nickname for Elizabeth Montgomery. Don't know what the significance of that is. And also, this was on the back, this was there too. So, shopping list, and I don't know, just an interesting collection of Dick York. Now, I also wrote Dick Sargent. Thanks for being a fan, very nice man. This is Uncle Arthur, Paul Lynde. I did buy this one. I did find this one online. And this is from Tabitha, Bewitched. In more recent years, I became friends with Erin Murphy, who played Tabitha along with her twin sister, but Erin was the more prominent one. And she and I did a couple of short clips about the dark side of Hollywood. I'll actually put one at the end of this video. Now, here are some of the other people I've met at autograph shows. Sandra Gould, who played Mrs. Kravitz, the second Mrs. Kravitz. Casey Rogers, who played Louise Tate, the glue that held that show together. Bernard Fox, who was Dr. Bombay. And this one I actually got by surprise. Alice Ghostley, who played Esmeralda on the show, and she ended up taking my tour back in 1994 or 95 with her sister and some friends. But the story today is about another one, the other principal actor on the show, Agnes Moorehead. Agnes Moorehead, who played Endora on the TV show Bewitched, and this video features her. Now, one of the cool things about this game, as I said, was the artwork, and it's a card game, Stymie, awful. And I did find this cool artwork. There's Agnes Moorehead as Endora, and that's the focus of today's video. So come with me back to Beverly Hills and back to Ohio to celebrate the life and the death of Agnes Moorehead. This is the famous Roxbury Drive in Beverly Hills. Jack Benny's house. Peter Falk's house. So many famous people lived on this street. The Gershwin brothers. Rosemary Clooney. This was the last home of Agnes Moorehead and Dora. This was her address when she died. Agnes Moorehead is best known for playing Endora, Samantha's mother, on the TV show Bewitched, which ran from 1964 to 1972. Now, she was actually born in 1900 in Clinton, Massachusetts, to a Presbyterian minister and a mother who sang in church, and Agnes was encouraged to sing in church, and she got the bug. The family moved to St. Louis, Ohio, where Agnes showed her interest in art, singing, and dancing. While she earned a degree in biology and master's in English and public speaking, she also appeared in college plays. Her family moved to Wisconsin, where she taught in public school for 5 years. Now, she enjoyed success on the stage, but with stage work drying up, she made her way to Hollywood and enjoyed working in radio, including the infamous show The Shadow. Agnes became friends with Orson Welles and became part of the legendary Mercury Theater. Agnes took part in the infamous War of the Worlds broadcast in 1938 when their depiction of an alien invasion was so convincing it caused a nationwide panic. She also appeared in the classic radio show Sorry, Wrong Number in 1943. She made her film debut in Citizen Kane in 1941. She also appeared in The Magnificent Ambersons and Hush, Hush, Sweet Charlotte, and the classic Bogey and Bacall film Dark Passage. The Conqueror, the film that was made in 1956 with John Wayne and Susan Hayward. It was filmed in St. George, Utah, not far from the U.S. government's Nevada National Security Site. In 1953, almost a dozen atomic bombs were tested in the area, and the nuclear fallout drifted directly over St. George. Meanwhile, the shooting of The Conqueror took place there. Howard Hughes, the producer of the film, brought 60 tons of the atomic dirt back to Los Angeles to pick up more shots for the film. Now, the filmmakers were aware of the nuclear testing nearby, but were reassured by the government that the test posted no hazard. Agnes was married to actor Jack G. Lee, an actor who appeared in On the Town and Berlin Express from 1930 to 1952. She was married once more to actor Robert Gist in 1954 for 4 years. Agnes bought that beautiful home on the legendary Roxbury Drive in Beverly Hills, almost 12,000 square feet, 8 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, a tennis court, and a pool. In 2014, the house was on the market for $19 million. In 1961, she appeared on one of the most famous episodes of the show The Twilight Zone, in which her home is invaded by aliens who shoot her with radiation waves. That's not ironic. In this episode, Agnes grunts and screams and moans, but she has not one single word of dialogue. Now, she was cast as Samantha's mother on the TV sitcom Bewitched. She was in 143 episodes over its 8-year run. She had it figured into her contract that she would appear in 8 of every 12 episodes, giving her opportunities to do other work. One of them being the film The Singing Nun in 1966, where she met and became close friends with Debbie Reynolds. Incidentally, The Singing Nun was based on a story of a Belgian nun named Marie Deckers, who had a #1 hit with the song Dominique. Incidentally, the real Deckers left the church, suffered financially, and ultimately took her own life with her longtime female companion in 1985. Agnes felt trapped by the success of the show, although she was nominated for a Supporting Actress Emmy 7 times. But she did win an Emmy for another show, The Wild Wild West. She seemed to get along great with most everyone on the show, maintaining a close relationship with Elizabeth Montgomery. Now, Dick Sargent implied that their relationship might not have been the greatest. Sargent referred to her as a, quote, tough old bird, that she would come to work with a script in one hand and a Bible in the other. Her last starring role was in Dear Dead Delilah with Grandpa Walton, Will Geer, in 1972. She did some voiceover work for the film Charlotte's Web, in which she played the goose. In her career, she was nominated for 7 Emmys, winning 1, but the Oscar eluded her, even though she was nominated 4 times. After that last loss, she commented, "I guess I'll remain a bridesmaid for the rest of my life." A lot has been said about Agnes's private life. The actor Paul Lynde very crudely referred to her as one of the all-time Hollywood, derogatory term here, though Agnes's longtime employee Quint Benedetti stated that Paul Lynde was just gossiping and rumor-mongering. Debbie Reynolds claimed in her book that the rumor was started by one of Agnes's husbands during their divorce.
Eddie Fisher was going to perpetuate the rumor in his book until Debbie Reynolds threatened to sue him. When I had Alice Ghostley on my tour, I asked her the same thing. Was Agnes Moorehead gay? She said, I've heard that myself. Not giving up anything. And why should she, ladies and germs? By 1972, Agnes Moorehead was diagnosed with uterine cancer. Some suspect that it was acquired on the set of The Conqueror. The film had a cast and crew of 220, and by 1980, 91 of them were dead of cancer, including its star, John Wayne, the director, Dick Powell, and actress Susan Hayward. Agnes died on April 30th, 1974 at the Methodist Hospital in Rochester, Minnesota. Newspapers stated that her age was 67, but it was really 73. Agnes's body was brought back to Dayton, Ohio for burial and handled by the George C. Martin Funeral Home. She didn't want the cause of death to be made public, and she wanted no funeral, although I did find an article mentioning there was a private funeral held at Dayton Memorial Park. Agnes had purchased a plot in the cemetery, actually in the mausoleum. She wanted to be a permanent resident there along with her mother, father, and sister. Incidentally, her mother was still alive. Agnes wanted to be sure her mother got her estate, and according to Todd Fisher, Debbie Reynolds' son, in his book, My Girls, Agnes asked Debbie Reynolds to be the executrix of her estate. When there was a reading of her will, Debbie was shocked to see what she thought to be an altered will, naming Agnes's lawyers as recipients. They got everything. Well, Agnes's mother got the home furnishings and some personal property and jewelry. Agnes's mother asked Debbie Reynolds to sell the items off for her, earning about $30,000. Agnes's mother lived to be 106 years old. She died in 1990. The current owners of the house have kept it witchy by decorating the house very enthusiastically for Halloween. I want to thank my friend Allison Martino from Vintage Los Angeles for letting me use this clip of the decorations at Agnes's former home. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I want to especially thank my friend Steve Smith for helping me with it. The people who are sponsoring my page by the Patreon link below are very, very much appreciated. You guys throwing a couple of bucks to me every month really, it makes a big difference in my life, and this has become my career, and it means a lot. So thank you very much, especially John Fritz, Sean Carson, Brooke Myers, Ann Meyer, of course, always, James Harrington, of course, and Neil Robertson. You're all so very generous and kind. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your attention. And until next time.
You heard me.